So, Mr. Lifeson, you previously have lived in Urban Loft Apartments, correct?
Yes, I did.
And you were evicted from your apartment in the middle of winter?
Yes, I was.
You were forced to live in your car for a week?
Yes, I was.
And now you just happen to be one of the main witnesses in a case against this apartment complex and this
Objection,
family?
argumentative.
Response?
I'm just trying to get to the truth of the matter, Your Honor.
Your Honor, if I may respond?
You may.
He's clearly trying to exploit the traumatic experiences of my witness.
Response?
I'm just trying to establish that he was used to live there and now he's the main witness in this case against this same apartment complex that he used to live in.
And how does his being evicted have anything to do with that?
I'm just trying to establish his past at the complex.
And has he stated that he was there?
Yes.
So what does the eviction have to do?
I'm not asking about the eviction, I'm just stating that I'm trying to connect that he used to live there and now he's the main witness against it.
I'm going to sustain your objection.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Based on your experiences, one could reasonably assume you have a bias against Mr. Peer.
I can see how that could happen, but I hold nothing against him.
Okay. Did you perform tests on the Melton family?
I did.
I know let the record reflect on retrieving Exhibit 1B.
The record shall so reflect.
Your Honor, let the record reflect on approaching the witness.
It shall so reflect.
Okay, forgot. Can you please explain what these results show?
Yes, this is a lead report done on Joe Melton, and basically just means that he had 8 micrograms of lead per 1 deciliter of lead in his system.
Thank you. Your Honor, let the record reflect on retrieving Exhibit 1C.
Shall so reflect.
Let the record reflect on approaching the witness. Can you please tell me what this is? Or explain the results, I'm sorry.
Yep. This is Jordan Melton's blood report, and basically just means that she had 9 micrograms per 1 deciliter of blood in her system.
Let the record reflect on retrieving Exhibit 1A.
Shall so reflect.
Let the record reflect on approaching the witness. Can you please explain the results of this test?
Yes, this is the blood report that was done on Brett Melton, and it means that he had 10 micrograms of blood per 1 deciliter. 10 micrograms of lead per 1 deciliter of blood in his system. That's my lead.
Let the record reflect on retrieving Exhibit 2B.
Shall so reflect.
Oh, objection, lack of foundation.
Sustain. Would you like to go back and lay some foundation for that? It wasn't used previously.
Oh, it wasn't? Oh, I'm sorry, I assumed okay. Let the record reflect on retrieving proposed Exhibit 2B. Can you tell me what this is?
Yes, this is the lead report that was done on Ben Melton.
Okay. Has it changed in any way since you've last seen it?
No, it hasn't.
Your Honor, let the record. Why did I forget how to do that? Your Honor, I'd like to enter in proposed Exhibit 2B as Exhibit 2B.
Do you have any objections?
I don't know how to phrase it, but he didn't bring it to me before I brought it to the
I
witness.
didn't. Nope.
Nope. I'd like to just say, Your Honor, I'd like to see what he's introducing as evidence.
Okay, just the lead result, not the hemoglobin result. I don't know why anyone would ever use the hemoglobin result.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Then it is to be as entered.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Let the record reflect on approaching the witness. Can you please explain the results of this lead test?
Yes, this just means that Ben had 297 micrograms of lead per 1 deciliter of blood in his system.
Thank you. So, or let the record reflect I'm putting down Exhibit 2B.
It shall so reflect.
There's an awful lot more lead in Ben's system than anyone else in the family, is that correct?
That is correct.
So, due to this, one can assume that the water levels alone could not have contributed to a difference in lead this created.
Actually, no. And I can explain if you'd like.
Please explain on how Ben Melton had 30 times as much lead in his system as his brother Brett.
Well, keep in mind, 3 to 4-year-olds are only yay big, and the toddler immune system isn't fully developed, so it's harder for him to fight off the virus that's inside him right now. And with that being alone, the high level of lead in the water, very possible that that is the main cause of his high lead levels, just because his body is just so much smaller, he can't take it.
So because he's a foot shorter than his brother, he has 30 times as much lead in his system?
I would say he's a couple feet smaller than him, so I mean, brother's 11, it's about yay big,
Okay, so you're basing this on the height, correct?
size of the body.
Thank you. Did you retrieve a rabbit? Oh my god! Did you retrieve a rabbit, a toy stuffed rabbit, and test it for lead?
Yes, I did.
Your Honor, let the record reflect I'm retrieving proposed exhibit 3.
It shall so reflect.
Your Honor, may I approach opposing counsel?
You may.
Your Honor, I object to the relevance of this.
Response?
This is the toy rabbit that Mr. Lifeson found at the scene and tested for lead levels.
Response?
I understand that, but we've established in the direct of Mr. Lifeson that this has no correlation to the case.
Response?
I don't agree with that. I believe it does have relevance to this case.
And since it was brought up indirect, you can explore that option. So I'm going to overrule your objection.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor. And may I approach the
You
approach the
may.
witness? Can you tell me what this is?
Yes, that is the stuffed rabbit that I found at the nearby old abandoned house.
And has this changed in any way since you've last seen it?
No, it hasn't.
And where did you find this exactly?
I found it at the old abandoned house, which was basically a construction site.
Okay, thank you. Let the record reflect I am returning exhibit 3 and retrieving proposed exhibit.
Did you ever establish that as evidence?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Your Honor, I'd like to enter proposed exhibit 3 as exhibit 3 in evidence.
Any objection?
None, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, let the record reflect I'm retrieving exhibit 1D.
Shall so reflect?
Can you please read for me the results from the toy rabbit which you tested?
Let's see, the outer coating of the rabbit came in at 10 parts per million.
Oh, I'm sorry, I meant the dust on the rabbit.
And the dust on the rabbit came in at 435 micrograms per square foot.
Okay. As you stated previously, the lead level, the recommended reference range for dust is 40 micrograms per square foot, correct?
That's correct.
So would it be correct to say that the dust on this rabbit was nearly 10 times the reference range?
That is correct.
Your Honor, let the record reflect I'm returning exhibit 1D.
So reflect?
Okay. Did Mr. Melton recognize this as his son's rabbit, did he not?
Yes, Jordan Melton did believe that that rabbit belonged to Ben.
Okay, thank you. So would it be reasonable to assume that the toy rabbit and not the water levels contributed to the extreme difference in lead levels?
Of course,
Objection, Your Honor, asked and answered.
Response?
I have not asked this question before, Your Honor.
Overruled.
What was that?
I thought we can't have withdrawn.
You can, but he didn't go.
Also, yeah, that's not an objection anymore. Why did I not think of that? That was a better idea. Okay. So just to clarify, you believe that the water levels and not this extremely contaminated toy of Ben's contributed to the difference in lead levels?
I believe that the water in the Melton's apartment is the sole contributor to Ben's lead poisoning.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. No further questions.